Hey y'all. So it's been a minute since I've done a video and came on here, but I was in the middle of some school assignments, and if you know, I can't focus. So if you know, you know. But anyway, I figured I would come on here and I would talk about this week. Yesterday we had tryouts for season 6, and I was trying to make this video while I was at the gym, but it didn't work out. But while I was sitting at the gym yesterday, and it was before everybody came in, it was just me in the gym alone. And I started reflecting on how, far we've come. And how I remember in 2020 that I wanted to, I actually talked about having my own team before 2020. But I kept saying, I want my own team. I want my own team. I never said teams or never said gym. I said I want to be able to have my own team. That was the thing. So in 2020, I actually started CTC. And it was pretty much me and a few coaches that I knew. We just went on a limb. And just went out there. So just reflecting back from 2020, my first year, with my own teams, I had about 50 girls. And how my first year, I rented gym space from another gym. And then the next year, I was able to get my own space. And it was small space, 2,500 square feet. And I was ecstatic for that 2,500 square feet. When I said I was thankful, and I still was in a moment of not really, still in kind of disbelief, not really understanding that I got my own gym, my own teams, everything I said came to pass. I was just pretty much going with the motions. It really still didn't hit me that, Keisha, you own the gym. Fast forward to last year, around this time last year, I was able to get a new building. So I was in my old building for 2 years, and I was able to get in my new building last year, which was an additional 2,500 square feet. So I was able to get in something that's 5,000 square feet, and I'm thankful for that. And yesterday it made me think about how, when I look at the gym floor, and I was like, how last year this time I was stressing. I wanted a spring mat. I was wanting to get into the building. It was costly to move into the building. I wanted all these things in the building. How I kept looking at different spring mats. This spring mat was $15,000, $17,000, $16,000. And, I kept wanting it, I kept looking, and I kept getting disappointed because I just spent all this money to move into this building, and it was not cheap. And now I have sorry. And it wasn't cheap, but I still wanted the building. I still wanted the spring mat. And sometimes, God will bless you, and it ain't the way you think that you should be blessed. So I continued to look and search. And every time I would search, I would always search for a company that had spring mats. And, and then it's I wonder how we could build our own and stuff like that. So one day I came across someone selling a spring mat. They moved out of their gym. They sold their gym, and then they had a spring mat. It was fairly new. It was in Tennessee. I'm in Georgia. And I reached out to her, and she, gave me a price. And I was like, well, I don't have all of that right now. She was like, give me what you have, and I'll hold it for you because others want it. And at first I was like, is this a scam? But I did that, and She held it for me for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I went, me and my family, 2 U-Hauls. We went out there one U-Haul and realized that wasn't enough. We got 2 U-Hauls. But I say all that to say, God will give you what you want, and it ain't always the way you think you need it. Because to be honest with you, I didn't need to get a $15,000 mat. I couldn't afford that. I didn't need to go out there and get a loan for it. That's an additional bill when I just moved into a new building that I have to now pay more for. So I just it was just reflecting and how we've been growing over season after season. Another thing that happened is I started with 50 girls. I went to like 90 girls, and in the 2 years, and then I dropped down back to maybe 48. And this year is the most I've had in 2 years so far. And sometimes you have to rebuild, you have to rebrand, you have to restructure, and you have to do things differently. And I had to learn, especially going the path that I wanted to take. I had to sit back, regroup. Where did I mess up at? What do I need to do differently? And I think that has caused me to grow. This last season was a lot of growth. So I'm really looking forward to season 6. I'm really starting to pat myself on the back because I don't do that at all. It's hard for me to understand. Pretty much I have imposter syndrome, and it's hard for me to see growth in myself. But I'm starting to see that. I am. I'm starting to see how far I've come and where I'm going and how far God has brought me. So I just thought I would come on and share that little testimony and share that, we're growing, we're building, and the best is yet to come.